You won't believe it. Maya's house is completely silent, no hype music. Confused, Maya hopped back in her car, instantly going into detective mode to search for Theo's info and quickly found his address. The woman told her that her child, who was so good at soccer he got tuition waived, was still tossed out by the elite school, and she lamented that her son doesn't even drink. Unfortunately, no one, including the police, believed her story. All they heard were kids making noise, as if Joe or Andrew were throwing a tantrum. This woman had a vivid impression of Andrew, and soon after, the news hit that he drowned, while the Burke family insisted it was just a funny accident. Stepping outside, Maya answered a call from Chris and raced to his secret hideout. Chris was digging into the yacht captain from the incident with Andrew, only to find he'd vanished into thin air. There weren't even any spending records, but he had rented a warehouse before disappearing. So, the duo rushed over to investigate and immediately noticed something was off. They found a working freezer in storage and, unsurprisingly, it was as expected. The captain had clearly become a popsicle, unsure how long he'd been there. Next morning, police got a call. Detective Sammy rushed to the scene, but Maya didn't mention that Chris was there too. She just said she got an anonymous call that led her to discover the dead captain. She was just trying to uncover the reason behind her sister's death, as it had been 6 months with the police finding nada. Under the pressure from her in-laws, she answered a few questions and left, but surprised her car got impounded. She then rushed to her brother-in-law's house to pick up. While chatting, she asked her brother-in-law if her sister ever mentioned the name Swen. He didn't know him, but found the address through a photo. There was only one place in town with a view, and she stumbled upon it while crashing a client's party. This person was incredibly rich. It was a verified millionaire's neighborhood. Maya immediately headed there and found Swen's address in the mailbox, but not and got cricket. Luckily, she ran into a neighbor who said Swen hadn't returned since the last party. Meanwhile, the cops found a bloodstain in Maya's car and requested for it to be tested. Upon seeing the test results, Sammy sighed helplessly, while his partner found a video at a gas station showing someone heading to the warehouse with Maya. A person in a hat obscured their face, and soon, Maya was brought to the station to view that day's surveillance footage. Sammy said, "You claim it's your first time at the warehouse, your first encounter with the victim, yet we found blood in your car even though the DNA results, but we noticed it's a very rare blood type, matching that of the captain. You know what that means, right, Maya? So you've been lying to us this whole time, huh?" At this point, Maya couldn't stay silent any longer and spilled the beans about Chris. She said they'd exposed the Burke family scandal. She sought the truth of her sister and husband's deaths. She suspected Chris had been up to no good at the warehouse to set her up, claiming that she was the only one who'd interacted with the trunk at the gas station. Maya found her military buddy and asked about Swen's whereabouts. The guy said Swen had been caught for DUI, and this definitely wasn't his first rodeo. Subtitles, however, oddly enough, he didn't have any record of being in jail at all. Upon hearing this, Maya remembered what her neighbor had said. She immediately thought of someone who could help her. At this moment, Sammy discovered a piece of information in her sister's murder case. A bullet had been moved away for several hours. The reason? A formal request from the military police. She instantly recalled Maya's case, obviously something unusual. Suddenly, chaos broke out in the station. All the network systems crashed at once. Realizing Chris was behind it, Sammy quickly advised his partner to steer clear of the arcade. She sped off in her car, while Maya returned to her in-laws to set up a meeting with the nanny, but got turned down again. In the end, she secretly placed a GPS tracker. "No, not me. People like you don't care about the value of things, right?" The woman handed her an address, promising to call and discuss things. She stressed that place was usually closed to strangers. On the way, her comrade called for drinks, but Maya declined. "I'm at home about to meet Eva. You know, lady night stuff maybe tomorrow." "Really? Tomorrow? Sounds great." But at that moment, the guy was in her house. Shortly after, she arrived at the location and met Swen. As the conversation deepened, Maya's world turned upside down when she asked about her brother-in-law Andrew. She wanted to know what went down on the yacht that day, but upon hearing this, Swen broke down in tears. "What exactly are you so scared of, Jawan?" "What do you mean, Haystel?" "Just right next to you, Jawan. What were you doing?" 3 days ago, he killed his beloved. Someone's gone mad. Theo had shown madness earlier, and he was a skilled soccer player. Those talents were also the reason he met his demise, as Joe would never allow anyone to outshine him. Especially not a kid from a regular family. Joe saw him as a threat. Sure enough, when Theo died, they had just won a soccer match. Back to back, they were having a prank battle on the field, and naturally, Theo was the target due to the power imbalance. They tied him to a chair, and initially Theo was oblivious. Theo thought they were just playing an ordinary game until they shoved a funnel in his mouth and started pouring drinks. It hit him then that this was bad news. Too bad it had already been too late. After Theo's death, Joe not only showed no fear but even ordered everyone to keep quiet about it. For their enormous family, dealing with this matter was merely a minor issue. Yet Andrew, after a drunken stupor, felt incredibly guilty, unable to sleep night after night. During one 5-person gathering, he decided he couldn't take the guilt anymore and was ready to turn. Andrew approached the table all alone in his house. Minutes later, a jet from New York joined him at the table. I heard the jet, I knew. Oh my God, I knew. He never spoke out for fear Joe would kill him. Only after Joe's death did he dare tell the truth. When Maya learned that her husband was a murderer, her world shattered instantly. Soon after, she received an alert the GPS tracker shed placed in the nanny's car suddenly acted. At that moment, she knew she had to take action. After some disguising, she called her brother-in-law, and they both headed to the kindergarten to submit a guardianship application. What could go wrong?